that really made me that really made me feel that like
Baby.
you guys are very important in my life and I love you guys so much.
Hey, Sazel.
It's Azura.
And I'm Jermaine.
And welcome back to another episode of Clevities Podcast. Okay, girls, remember there was this episode where we talked about traveling with friends and how it can make or break your friendships?
Yes.
Wow, that really got like a lot of comments from people listening to us on podcasts or on social media. Now, today we are going to talk about bad friends in general. Have you girls ever had like a bad friend in your life?
Who hasn't had a bad friend in their life? I think you come across so many people. It's just whether you recognize that they are a bad friend or not.
And when, how long it takes you to recognize.
Yeah.
So a question for the floor. Was there a time when a friend made you feel unhappy or bad about yourself?
What? Of course.
When was that?
Wow. I think I've spoken about this friend before, but they made me feel like I wasn't worthy of their friendship. The things that they say, you know, when they scold you or when they say that, you know, oh, you're so fucked up or you screwed up or how can you do shit like that? Yeah, that makes you feel really bad about yourself.
Oh, that's so unfortunate to hear. What about you, Zura?
I can't seem to think of anything off the
Because-
top of my head.
Because you're someone who lets all the negative things just go like that. No, I really
Maybe.
believe. And you wouldn't remember if someone was ever bad to you.
Correct. That's true. What about you, Hazy?
Okay. For me, I think, thankfully, it was in the time when I was in secondary school. I've mentioned this way too many times when I was in the period of trying to fit in, the cool kids and stuff. And I felt like this bunch of people, they weren't really made for me back then. You know, we were in this phase of like rebelliousness and stuff like that. I felt like they made me feel very unworthy of myself. And no matter how hard I tried to prove myself to them, that I'm worthy to be cool and shit, it just didn't work out. And I just went home every day feeling so dejected and just thinking so hard about how I can be cooler.
You're very cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
look at you now.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cool.
Well, so, you know, this former Oxford psychology professor, his name is Robin Dunbar, he describes the physical benefits of friendship. And this is interesting because I never knew friendship can have physical benefits.
Physical benefits, okay?
Other than
Not
friends
friends
with
with
benefits.
benefits.
No, not that. Okay, so what kind of physical benefits can you have from a friendship? The calming effect you feel as endorphins are released on social interaction with your bestie, as well as the positive effects such close bonds have on the immune system. Which means if you have a strong friendship, your immune system will be better lah.
Yeah.
I'm coughing, guys. How?
It's not us.
That means we are not good enough for you.
No.
He even said that a connection of this kind, a very good friendship, is the best antidepressant you can get. And I actually had a very great experience last night. So one of my friends is going away for a month. And when she came over, she was in a mess. She had a mental breakdown. She herself is on antidepressants. But after spending an hour with me, right, she was like, I'm calm. I'm zen. I can go. Thank you so much for like your company and your words. I feel completely okay now.
It's because Jamie is a very good friend.
Correct.
She's a good listener, you know.
Correct. But I also feel like you need that kind of people around you, you know, because at the end of the day, like we've mentioned before, maybe I think, you know, you are the average of the 5 closest to you or the 5 that you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So have you girls ever called out a friend for their bad behavior?
I've tried to. So this was that same friend group, right? So when I got out of a relationship, because the guy was friends with them first, so everyone piled on me because I moved on first.
Okay.
So everyone piled on me and said like, how can you do that? How can you do that to him? And I tried to call them out. I tried to say that's really unfair to me, you know, because we are also friends, but everyone is ganging up against me. But when they're in a group, right, you feel so helpless and weak as one person. So I decided to cut them off.
Good on you. What about you, Zura?
I feel like when you tell me something that, let's say, I disagree with, even if I disagree with it, I'll tell you what I think about it, but I'll never tell you what I think you should do. I will still be your friend, whatever choice you choose. But I'm that person who would rather, I think, just listen. Unless it's really severe, I'll try to call you out. But even then, I try and cushion it.
But what if this friend is like talking behind your back?
Your problem, You're behind me, oh.
Correct. Actually, I had a friend, well, an ex-friend recently that I had to call out for his toxic behavior.
Okay.
It's very complicated, but he was treating me very shitty, okay? And I actually called him out and I said that you've changed. I don't know who you are anymore, but you're a different person. And the way that you've been treating me is so terrible. Like, you've put me in a very dark hole. And I found out that this person not only is not like regretful of their actions, but went behind my back to talk to my other friends about this whole situation to try and gain some sympathy. Yeah, which really sucks, you know. But thankfully, when your friends have your back, they have your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just happy that, you know, all my friends came back to tell me, hey, he said this and this and this, but don't worry, G, I got your back. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. But coming to that point, was a conversation not possible? Like, did he not bring to the table what he was feeling at that point in time?
I feel like he was overcome by a lot of new influences in his life or new people in his life that were whispering things into his ear. And that sort of made it very hard for me to get through to him that you hurt my feelings. To me, it's like, you hurt my feelings, but to him, it's like, no, but I'm valid in the way that I feel. Then when you're both that stubborn, there's no way of reconciling. So I've cut this person off.
Sometimes, unfortunately, that's the only way to eliminate a person and the toxic behavior from your lives. Like, back to my story in secondary school when I felt like I just couldn't fit into that group. The only way was to distance myself away from it.
Yeah.
Right? Because whatever I told them, they would not listen. In the first place, they did not treat me as a friend. So this is a one-way street. And when you're facing such a situation, I think sometimes the next best thing is to move on. So what are some like indicator of telltale signs of a bad friend? We all know that when we're in a friendship, sometimes you just don't see that this person is a bad person. Very much so as when we are in a relationship sometimes.
Yeah, because you want to make excuses for them. You want to be their friend, right? You want to defend them. But sometimes you need, like, as with relationships, you need to identify red flags. There are red flags in friendships too. I think one of the biggest ones that really affects me is when a friend like always takes and never gives. It's a very one-sided friendship. So you are always the one reaching out to have to connect. You're always the one having to set up something, and this friend never ever, you know, gives you that same emotional support. Or you're always asking them, checking in, how are you? But they never check in with you.
Can I just challenge that a little bit?
Sure.
Because we've spoken about this before as well, right? On the last episode about like friendship. What if they're just like overwhelmed with things and they're at that point in their lives where they have no capacity to be able to reach out?
If it's a period of time, it's fine. But
Right.
if it's for your whole friendship,
Right.
that's not okay. That's a one-sided friendship.
Yeah.
But I know for sure that Jeremy is a person, you are always the proactive one. You always take steps to like arrange lunches, even for us, like, you know, us harsh girls. Do you ever feel tired of doing so?
Actually, not at all, because the thing is that like last week I was, you know, I was very out of it and I was feeling very down, and both of you actually took time out of your day to check in on me and send me like long texts, and that really made me feel that like
Baby.
you guys are very important in my life, and I love you guys so much.
We got you.
Yeah.
We got
Always.
I know.
Always, okay? We
Also-
we don't have the telltale
Yes.
signs of a bad friend.
Also, let's say right, your friend right gets into a relationship
Uh-huh.
and disappears. Is that a bad friend?
I have a very close friend who's done that, you know, but
Oh.
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with that because I feel like you need your time in your relationship, and I'm more than willing, more than happy to give you that.
Did your
But-
friend come back?
Yes.
Right.
After 1 year lah.
Oh.
She came back.
She had a lot of fun
Okay.
in that
As in,
one
break
year.
up already or still together?
No, still together. So it was after the honeymoon period, and in
Yeah,
fact, they
yeah,
were very stable.
Oh, the honeymoon 1 year, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. No, I think they actually are still in the honeymoon period now.
I
Very
know.
lovely.
Of course.
But yeah, well, it's okay. To me, it's okay lah.
That's what I told my friend. So one of her very good guy friends completely disappeared after he had a girlfriend. And she was very angry. She was like, how can he do this to me? How can he leave me in the lurch? And I said, babe, don't worry. He will come back to you. You got to be patient. And he really did. And he told this friend saying, hey, actually G told me this. She told me to be patient. And her guy friend told her, well, please thank G for me. Because it's true, yeah.
But what if like, okay, actually somebody just told me about this, of which her friend, I think, was in a relationship, and then like it was a pretty long relationship. We're talking like 2-3 years, 3-4 years, disappeared for the entire time.
Ah,
Break
3-4
up already, then
years?
come back.
Oh, wow. Wow, but some people really like that.
they get wrapped up in
Yeah.
the love.
Yeah. But after 3-4 years, this person comes back. Would you still accept him or her as a friend?
Yes,
I would
lah.
like test water.
Yeah.
I'll still be there, lah.
I think as a friend it's okay lah, but maybe not as a bestie or whatever.
Depends how
Correct.
close you were before that.
Very, very close, for example.
Then yeah, of course, I would accept this person back.
But all the more also, it feels like, wow, if you're so close, how can you disappear for that long?
You have
that's
to
true.
no, you have to be fair. Sometimes, like, let's say this is their first true love, and they never experienced that before. Like, you get wrapped up in it. You want to spend all your time with this person. Maybe you've never had that, but ouch.
Okay, Jimmy,
Yes.
if Azura was in a relationship now, like honeymoon period, for example,
okay.
do we think she would disappear? Would she disappear from the friendship?
No, she would never. Because
My answer is
Azura
no.
values friends over relationships.
Or
Sure,
equally?
yeah.
Find
Or
anywhere,
equally.
man. Hello. Keep your friends close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what about if Jeremy today, she was in a relationship, honeymoon period? Do we think she'll disappear?
No, never. We'll find her at
Yes,
7.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
You know where to find me.
Yeah. Yeah, and after hours also.
Oh, okay. I think another kind of friend, right, that is a bad friend is someone that you trust, you told them your deepest, darkest secrets, then you found out that they bao you and they told other people. Oh!
You thought this person was a good friend.
Yes.
And then he or she go and do this behind your back.
I'm feeling a bit like, is it I'm just super unaware, or maybe I'm just super naive,
Because you've never experienced this happen to you.
or maybe I just really don't care. I don't know. Like,
Or maybe
how,
you just have good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cannot be all so good. Really
Or maybe
meh?
you are the bad friend.
Fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zora,
Okay,
has
okay.
this ever happened to you? This happened to our producer.
Okay.
So during a party, the friends played like this drinking game and there were a couple of new people. And then when her turn came, the game prompted her with, what is your body count?
Which is how many people you slept with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know why there's a thing. Okay, but before this producer could answer, her friend shouted, Aya, she cannot answer this lah. She's a virgin. Where got body count? And the producer is like, what? So she's told this friend that it was one of her biggest insecurities and she's embarrassed of it. So for this friend to share this publicly in
With
front of
new
friends,
people?
Right.
can you imagine how much of a bitch that friend must be? I would be so hurt and so upset. And of course, our producer tried to speak with the friend about this, but she just shut her down and told her that she was too sensitive and people probably don't even remember that part at all.
I'm sorry, I feel like if they can shoot out things like that so easily, they probably never really took you seriously in the first place.
Or valued the secrecy of that
Correct.
piece of information.
And I feel like this friend is not worth keeping.
Wait, producer, are
Which
you guys still
producer?
friends?
Raise hand.
This one lah. No, they're not friends anymore. Well, I think that's valid.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would cut off this friend as
You
well.
need to set your own boundaries, really, even with friendships.
That's right.
It's true.
Okay, so another story. Well, this one I think may happen to people like us.
Okay,
okay.
This producer, she has a pretty close friend who is not the best at managing her finances.
Oh.
Okay.
She doesn't have much savings. She also doesn't have a stable job. So there was one time they had to cancel their air tickets last minute because her friend could not pay for the trip. And because you cancel, right, there's a fee that you must pay.
Yeah.
And she didn't manage to pay our producer the full sum of the money that they lost until after more than 3 years later.
What?
But within these 3 years, every time they meet up with each other, this friend is carrying like a new branded bag.
Excuse me?
So it makes our producer wonder whether her kindness is taken for granted.
But is it a fake bag? How you know that it's real?
That is very true.
If you think it's
You
real,
think it's real?
you should have stolen the bag.
It will cover the...
Yeah, just
the
like
cost.
only.
Question, how much money did she owe you?
What?
$800?
A branded
Really?
bag
Yes.
is like thousands of dollars. Wow.
Are you girls still friends?
Oh, okay,
they're
okay,
still
okay,
friends.
okay.
They're still friends.
I mean, sometimes, you can understand that people have financial concerns, but if you do, then don't commit to, a big ticket item like an air ticket.
Right.
Actually, it's quite funny because I've heard an exact story before. Don't know the same friend or not, but exact story of which my friend was supposed to travel with his friend.
Okay.
And then she pulled out the trip last minute.
Uh-huh.
And then refused to, not refused lah, just did not pay him back.
Okay.
And he kept hounding. And it took her a long long time, but they were like really close. But then after that, she just disappeared. And then like they want to reply, they want to pay back. And then it took them like a really long time before like I think he came to a point like he started threatening and like, hey, hello, can you please like, you know, because at this point they were not friends anymore. And then eventually maybe it took like a couple of years before she paid back as well.
For how much money only?
I can't remember, a few hundred.
Worth it or not? A few $100, you sacrifice a good friend and friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, so there's another case where this other producer told us that she has a friend who has financial constraints, but she's not very calculative. So every time they go out for coffee, she would pay, to the point that this friend takes her for granted. There was even one time they went out for a meal, and when the bill came, he passed the bill to our producer and said, "Sorry sis, I'm broke."
I'm
and that
sorry.
was the point when our producer felt like, oh my gosh, I'm being used and exploited in this friendship.
So I think I understand that, you know, when you go out as friends, right? Let's say you go out in a friend group, right? So we always go out drinking every week. It's not fair if just one person always pays for the drinks. So every week someone will offer their card to, you know, the server of the waiter to pay for the tray of shots. I think
Oh.
that's fair.
But how do you keep track?
I mean, you're not that calculative, like
Okay.
how much,
Okay.
but you just take turns to do it. I think that's fair.
But what if there's one friend in the group who always, you know,
Or there always is.
act silly?
There
Yeah,
always is.
Right. And
Acts
then like,
drunk.
yeah,
Like-
not paying. Then what do we do?
Don't invite them.
But this doesn't just happen in the club. It happens over like, you know, meals with
Lunch
friends
and-
as well.
yeah.
No, in fact, I feel like, Jimmy, you're someone who's very generous. I've realized that through the many occasions that we've had, like lunches or whatever, she's always the first one to whip out her card and say, you know, I'll pay for it first.
Yeah, but sometimes you slap me away and then you give your card.
Yeah, but not everybody does that, you know.
Oh, correct.
I feel
Yeah,
like then
yeah.
do you ask them back for the money? Because from what I know, you don't.
I won't. I wouldn't.
Because we'll just get the next one, lor.
Yeah, because it's friends. Like I wouldn't like, you know, yeah. But if you pay for it and you want to split, I will respect that.
Of course.
Because this is my decision to not split, right? But if someone else wants to split, I won't be salty and be like, hey, why I take the last bill, you never yeah. I wouldn't
Right.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, conclusion, G is a good friend.
Oh,
Yeah, just
very good one.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, Carrie actually taught me this, gaslighting. Remember we did this
Yes.
episode with her and then she was like, oh, the young people now, they use gaslighting.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, yeah. But actually, I didn't know what gaslighting means.
Okay.
So gaslighting, people who are dismissive of your thoughts, your feelings, and invalidates your sentiments. Do we have a friend like that?
Actually, right.
Uh-huh.
Now I remember.
Okay.
Oh.
Talking about the money story, I have a damn stupid story.
Okay.
It's ridiculous, okay? So let me tell you. So I had a very close friend. Well, how to say it? Okay. And then she had an event, an important event in her life. So she said, would you make the flowers for me?
Okay.
So I said, sure. I'm not a florist, but sure.
Okay.
Like the floral arrangement, leh.
Floral
Our dear
arrangement.
For
Azura.
what kind of event?
It's a wedding.
Oh, okay.
So I did it, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I wanted to gift it to her.
Okay.
Because, right? Okay. And then after the thing, so she kept asking me, how much is it? I want to pay for it. So I said, I didn't reply. Second time asked me. I didn't reply. Third time asked me. Then I said, okay lah, if you really want to pay for it, I'll get you something else maybe more permanent as a gift
Okay.
for that event. You know, because if you think that you had asked me to do it and maybe you want to pay me for it, so I said, okay, since you've asked so many times, I spend this amount lah.
Yep.
And then she said, I can't believe you just asked me to pay you.
After asking her 3 times,
Is she
how
kidding
much
or
is
what?
it?
Is she kidding?
No, she was so angry and so upset. She
And why is Zura laughing over this?
was so
That's how she
confused.
deals with everything in life. She just laughs it off. No, I think here's what happened. She tried to be nice, you know, by asking you multiple times
She
over.
just wants you to say, no, it's okay, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my gift to you. She just needs that reply lah.
But you know, I'm that person,
Uh-huh.
like, A means A, B means B, you want means you say, you don't want means you say. Don't, you know, I would never do that, right?
So what happened then? Did she pay you back or?
So she trusts. Okay, here's what I think what happened. I think the amount surprised her. I think she thought that I had spent a lot less. And
How much is it? How much is it?
Ayo, not much lah. Flowers only maybe 150 to 100.
Okay. So maybe she thought you spent like $20 lah.
Maybe she thought
Okay.
flowers that cheap lah, right?
Okay.
So, okay. And then after that, I was like, oh, then, wow, bomb me like messages. I was so confused. I was like, but you asked me. I said, oh.
You're not friends with this person anymore.
No, because after that, I was like, done, bye-bye.
Oh no.
I was like, really, bye-bye.
Toxic friend?
Well, I don't think it's toxic per se,
No, and you know
but
what's the worst part? Okay,
she
I
didn't
think
execute this perfectly.
The final straw for me
Okay.
was after that, right? And I was trying to like, I was confused. And then she brought in other things like, you know, my other friends have always told me or like warned me about you. And I'm not even friends with these people. I don't even know these
Well,
people.
now that's toxic.
So
That's
that was the
toxic.
final straw for me. I was like, oh, yo, wait, hello. Like, we're not a group of friends, we're individual friends. And like, you're telling me, why are you bringing all this kind of shit up? Like, hello? I was like, okay, done, bye-bye. Annyeong.
But did you call her out?
No, I didn't. I couldn't be bothered.
I think when a friend is not important enough, you don't have to call them out. Just let them go.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I just need to know, did she transfer you the money back?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's that.
Wow, I tell you, I had like half a second where I was like, should I transfer her back the money?
No.
Just keep it.
No.
Okay, but like we mentioned, for friends like this, we're not so close. We don't have to like bother calling them out. But what if close friends, you know, does shitty kind of things? How do we call them out without being aggressive, without ruining the friendship?
Okay, I think like a relationship, a friendship is the same, right? You need to be able to communicate. If you can't, then is that really a friendship?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be able to communicate honestly, but in a way that is not like you're victimizing yourself or you're using very harsh words on them. Because that can really hurt their feelings as well. So be mindful of the words that you choose and try to stay as factual as possible.
So I've learned this. You can consider using I statements. What do like I statements means?
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you don't listen to me anymore, maybe you can say, I don't feel so hurt, you know, like I don't feel like my thoughts are hurt by you. And, you know, this instantly changes things and can help to make the situation a lot better.
Right.
Right, and I think open body language is also very important. If you confront your friend with your arms like crossed like that,
It's like very defensive.
yeah, it's so defensive and like so you're closing yourself off. It's not going to help the entire situation.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's also an understanding and like trust in your friends. Like if you know that they have your best interest at heart, right? I think, but then in itself, you have to know that they actually
Correct.
have your best interest at heart, you know? And then I think it's like an understanding because I have some friends as well. I mean, like you girls will always, you know, you will call me out for it, but you will hype me up for it as well, right? I have some friends who I know for a fact will push, as in they will challenge whatever I say.
Oh.
And to them, right, if I push and that might trigger you to think of something else. Yeah, so they just work in that way of which they will just challenge and push back, but not maliciously and not like in a terrible manner.
Sounds like my mother.
Auntie? Yeah, but like I know it's all love and they will come back and, you know, so they push first and then we'll rediscuss it, right? Yeah, so I know that they have my back there in my corner. It's not malicious.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's okay.
But are you annoyed when that happened at first, like when the challenge happens?
No, I've never been annoyed. There's only
Okay.
just like one time, like
It's the
literally
flower bitch, ah.
No. No, same girlfriends, but one time where I really felt at that point like I just needed you to tell me that I was worth it.
Okay.
But they still wanted to challenge it. And I was like, I'm at this point in my life, like, just give it to me. Like, I just need to hear it. Like, just give it to me. Like, I don't care you believe, you don't believe. Like, just give it to me.
It depends what kind of person you are. So, like, I'm someone that I cannot take tough love well.
Right.
Like, if you show me tough love, I'll cry and I'll be like, don't show me tough love. I need the sayang, you know, the compliments. Like, no, you'll be okay, babe. Like, don't worry. So it depends. So if you're someone that needs tough love to whip you into shape, Azura, let us know.
Oh, no, I'm okay one. I receive all forms of love.
Okay.
I'm all
No, she
good.
actually does. No matter what kind of love we give her, she take it.
Yeah, she just take it.
It's super hard to stay mad at Azura. No,
It
really,
is,
it's
it is,
super
it
hard.
is,
Yeah, she's so cute. Okay, next question. Do you guys think a friendship can still be saved after we call out our good friends?
Yes, of course.
I think if it's good enough friends, you know, this friendship can still be salvaged.
Everyone deserves a second chance. Every friendship deserves a second chance. Unless your friend is like slapping you in the face physically, then I would say no.
Got people tell you?
Yeah, in the school bus, I told you in primary school, people slap me.
Hey, hello, who are you?
No, we are not friends anymore. But I'm saying like unless it's really like physically or emotionally abusive, but otherwise, everyone makes mistakes. No human is perfect. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Okay, let's say a friend leeches off you, owes you a lot of money, then you decide to cut this friend off, right?
Okay.
And this person still doesn't pay you, but you're not friends anymore. Would you still stay in contact just to get the money back? Like,
Wow.
would you still chase for the money, or would you let it go?
I would chase for the damn money.
But I feel like by doing that, I'm staying in contact with this person, and this gives him or her an avenue to continue borrowing money from me.
But you can don't give, ma.
So this person that I cut off recently, right, owes me a ton of money.
Oh no.
And I keep trying to ask for the money back, but
Okay.
it's a big sum. So obviously, if you didn't ruin the relationship, it would have been a lot easier to settle
Of
money
course.
stuff, right? But you ruined the relationship. So I keep talking about money, and he keeps telling me like, when can we talk? Can we talk this out? Like, do you want to chill, or then we can talk another month? And I refuse to reply to anything but the money. So I keep the boundary very clear.
Well, this is tough. This is tough. But do you think he doesn't want to pay you back?
He does. It's just that it's a big sum, and
So he
it
needs
takes a
time.
while. But at the same time, he's trying to repair this friendship. But I don't want to. I just want the money. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
like that, ah.
Yeah.
Wow. Difficult.
Actually, I'm that person, right? If you owe me money, I might not remember. I really don't remember.
She really
right?
doesn't. No, she really doesn't.
She doesn't remember like what she had for lunch yesterday.
If I owe you money, please let me know. I'll pay you back. But I don't think so. But if people owe me money, I really don't remember one. Like, I don't track my payments. I don't track whether
I owe you
people-
money. I owe you money.
You owe me money?
I owe you money.
Oh.
For Airbnb.
Oh!
What you say, Jimmy? What you say?
To be honest, later she cut
Yeah
me
lah,
off
good
like
friend,
the flower
good
girl. I'm very scared.
So, right, there was once, basically a friend, not very close, but like, okay, because we were spending a period of time together, sort of like working together at that time. And then she asked me for a sum of money. Not a huge sum. I think it was like 250, 300, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I remember that she was going through a tough time, of which like her parents were sick. So I didn't want to question it. And in fact, when I transferred, right, I transferred a little bit more.
Oh.
And then, and I don't know how to ask kind of,
Or how to ask her for the money back.
Correct, correct.
But this kind of situation, before I borrow, right, before I lend the money to the person, I already expect that it won't be coming back.
It won't be coming back.
Yeah, it will not
Some
be coming
people
back.
say that when
Yeah.
you lend people money, right, you have to be prepared that you never get it back.
Right.
Some people say never lend money to your friends because then you won't be friends anymore, right? Yeah. So I did that,
Okay.
and I think she had said like when she was going to pay me back. So obviously the time come, and then like
Nothing.
obviously, yeah. So I also I don't know how to ask kind ma. So I'm like okay, and then I waited a bit more, and then the parent who was sick passed away lah. Then I could not.
Oh, okay lah. Okay, then forget it.
I think forget it.
Really
forget
cannot
it.
already.
Forget
Then
it,
I
forget
just
it.
like after that I just let it go.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel right like she knows it, and because of that like she's scared to talk to me. But I'm like fine. I'm like I have no issues. Like you can just we can still be friends. Like it's fine.
But it's not on you to reach out to her in this case. I think in this situation, she should have said, I'm really sorry about that, or,
As in, I have no issues about the money. Like, I'm like whatever lah. Yeah. But like I just feel like this person pulled back because maybe she feels guilty.
Yeah,
I
she
don't
must have
know.
felt so guilty.
course,
But that's a good
yeah.
person because at least you feel the guilt, right?
yeah,
Oh, correct.
Instead of just
rather
taking it
than
for
show up
granted.
with new bags.
Bruh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Branded bag some more.
So for our listeners who are listening to Harsh Podcast, if you're feeling like some sort of an obstacle between you and a friend, before giving up on the friendship, I seriously think that you should reconsider it. How long have you been together with this friend?
Yeah.
Is he or she worthy of your time and effort? And also have a conversation. I feel like we can't talk about this enough. In basically every episode, we're telling you to have an open, honest conversation because it really, really works.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that you need to also set boundaries with friends because sometimes they overstep those boundaries and the trust that you have given to them, whether by violating your trust or taking your money or treating your feelings like it doesn't matter. So set your boundaries with your friends such that it can be healthy. Yeah.
Question for the floor.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a friend, right? So you tell your friend like a secret.
Yeah.
Or like your secrets for that matter. And I think whether you are aware of it or not, okay, let's say your friend has a stable relationship. this person will tell everything to their partner. So when you tell them that you cannot tell anybody, right? They really won't tell anybody, but they don't treat their partners as anybody. So everything you tell them, the partner will know one. How?
For me, right, if I have a partner, I would ask my friends, are you okay if I let him know about this?
Oh, she has done that actually.
Because I feel like, he ought to know.
Yeah.
But if it's nothing to do with this person, then for what I tell my partner, right? What about you? Does your partner have to know everything?
No, your partner doesn't have to know everything. But because you spend so much time with your partner, right? Sometimes you just talk about your day like, oh my God, who told me what? Like this person told me this. Yeah, yeah. And you expect that what you have with your partner
Yes.
is sacred. You guys are a unit.
Yeah.
Correct.
But what happens when you break up?
No, but you see, you guys are a unit in your mind. In your friend's mind, it's you.
Correct.
Yes.
She was not telling the unit, she was telling
So
you.
I think what Hazy said is right.
Yes.
You have to ask for permission. You can't just assume that's okay to tell your partner just because you are a unit.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then this also strengthens the bond between you and your friends.
But if you ever break up with your partner, you still have to honor the secrets that were told to you in a relationship.
Correct.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Please don't be a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly,
Yes.
what if one of our listeners, he or she has already exhausted all the options to salvage this friendship, but it still doesn't work out?
Hey, it's okay. There's 7 billion people in the world. Hello.
Yeah. Then
Just let
go
it
and
go.
listen to our previous episode on why it's okay to end the friendship.
Hey!
Why breaking up with a friend is okay.
Yes. Sometimes it's really that step that we have to take for ourselves, and it's us above everybody else. Okay, love ourselves first before other people can love us. Okay.
You know, recently someone told me this, which I
Yes.
really felt like was the nicest thing I've ever heard in a while.
Aw.
Okay, so she said, when you show up for yourself, the universe rewards you.
I love that.
What is showing up for yourself?
Means taking steps or doing whatever that is needed for yourself, whether it's cutting someone off, whether it's, making decisions, tough decisions, but making that decision for yourself in your best interest.
It can be little things such as getting a matcha latte, getting more rest, and talking to your friends.
Shout out to Forward Coffee.
Small things to make yourself feel good. And when you show up for yourself, the universe will reward you.
I love that.
I fully agree.
Can that be our
Like
little
a
quote of the
episode-
day?
yeah, episode
Must
slogan,
pay
right?
royalty, no, I ask her
When you
later.
show up for yourself, the universe rewards you.
So bear that in mind. Last word of advice for people struggling with friendship drama. I hope you acknowledge that you and a friend may not click the same way you once did. Because we all experience different phases in our life. I really love this quote. There are friends for a reason, friends for a season, and friends for a lifetime.
That's
I
right.
know.
Yeah, know who are your true and real ones, and you don't need a lot of them. You just need a few or a handful that support you in different ways, but make sure you give them the same support as well.
That's right. I think that, like a relationship, like any relationship, it's not one way, it's never one way. You invest in people, people invest in you. I feel like if I can say that at any time of the day, I can call at least 5 people who will pick up my call no matter what. And maybe, let's say, if I end up in jail in Cuba, I can call 5 people who will book the next flight out
I feel
to
like
come
I'm
and
the
bail me
first
out.
call. I feel like I'm gonna be the first call. I'm worried.
I
Do I
think
have
so
a
too.
visa for Cuba? Let me check.
And I feel like if I have that, right, I have lived a good life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think going through a tough time and realizing like the friends that are there for me, the friends that literally would drop anything and come and see me, as opposed to the friends that value other things over dropping everything to come see me. Like I know who my real ones are, and you guys are some of my real ones. So I love you. Love you.
Now
Love you
I feel
guys.
like crying.
Love you guys. Don't cry.
Friends FTW. Okay, with that, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Clarity's
Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at itsclarity.co to find out more updates on when new episodes drop.
That's right. You can listen to us on Me Listen, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, YouTube as well.
Yeah, once again, I'm Hazel.
I'm Azura.
And I'm Jermaine.
And thank you for listening.
Yay! Friends
Bye.
forever. What is Friends FTW?
For the win.
You know, I used to think FTW means the world.
Me too! Oh my gosh, we are true friends.